Greetings dear viewers and welcome back to the review program. In 2023, Uzbekistan was a host to a number of high-scale events that put a significant impact on the country's policy, economy, international affairs and other important sectors. In this episode, we'll reflect on some of these events and analyze their outcomes. In 2023, Uzbekistan managed to be the host of 6 major global and high-scale events. The list of those includes International Investment Forum, 32nd Annual Meeting of EBRD, 25th Session of UNWTO, CRIC 21 and 16th Summit of ECO and High International Corruption Awards Ceremony. Now let us go back to the beginning of the year and look closer to the outcomes of these events. On April 27, Tashkent hosted the second International Investment Forum. The purpose of the two-day conference was to exchange experiences with representatives of different countries, as well as to expand the geography of cooperation. In particular, the forum includes 28 panel sessions and roundtables on topical business topics, trends in the world of investment, prospects for the development of green energy, digitalization of financial institutions, and modern monetary policy. 150 speakers attended the session, and these included heads of leading international companies, funds, famous economists and experts from US, European Union, UK, CIS, Turkey, China, Southeast Asia, India, Egypt and the Middle East. President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev delivered his speech at the opening ceremony of the forum. In his speech, the head of state listed the results achieved over the past year. Some of those achievements include the former 20% added value tax rate was cut to 12%. Customs charge over the 7,000 raw materials and items required by investors have been eliminated. Uzbekistan has increased its efforts to join the World Commerce Organization in order to raise the level of foreign commerce and competitiveness and enter the new markets. The forum also announced that the businesses will be transferred to ESG. The ESG implementation takes 3 years, and by 2024 many international organizations will not invest on companies that do not act on principles of ESG. In particular, IFC Uzbekistan will stop cooperating with companies that do not follow the principle of ESG. Overall, the forum significantly boosted the international relations of Uzbekistan, attracted more investments, and contributed to the development of economic cooperation with other states. In May, Samarkand hosted the 32nd Annual Meeting of European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Over 2,000 guests from 73 states attended the event. International trade, the development of renewable energy sources, support for small and medium-sized businesses, the importance of digitalization for expanding markets, the implementation of the EBRD's Green Cities program, prospects of the regional economy were all in the spotlight of the event's discussion. The EBRD posted the Regional Economic Prospects Report. According to the bank's forecast, the economies of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan were expected to grow by at least 5.2% on the average in 2023. The Central Asian region is expected to continue growing by around 5.4% in 2024. Speakers of the meeting mentioned that supporting and giving local markets access to the international capital management can also play a role to boost country's economy. The highlight of the EBRD's AM discussion was the privatization process of Uzbek banks. The Uzurpor World team traveled to Samarkand to cover the meeting's events. We have talked to the investor from the UK about the issues that investors face in Uzbekistan and what can be done to solve them.
For the UK investors, I think the UK is ready to invest, we do have a lot of interest, especially on many areas, specifically to green energy and green efficiency programs, projects, agriculture, and those are the areas that I think UK would like to invest. For this, you have to have an ecosystem for investors to come and invest. There should be regulatory systems in place. You have to have proper ecosystem. You have to have the environment to create it for the investors, that they are sure that their investments are safe.
Within the borders of the high-scale event, we have also talked with the former, as of now, head of EBRD in Uzbekistan, Alkis Drakinus. He shared his vision on the inside of the event and the outcomes of the bank's contribution to Uzbekistan's economy. What are some innovative projects that EBRD is showcasing in this event?
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to have an interview with you. We are working together very well, and I would like to showcase the renewable sector projects that EBRD is doing. For example, EBRD has been instrumental in introducing in Uzbekistan the legislation, the possibility to have wind generation through international tenders. So I'm very proud as an EBRD person, and also for Uzbekistan, that when we opened the tender, this resulted in having record low prices for Uzbekistan, for the Uzbek people, and very reliable investors being attracted to the country to come and deliver these projects. At the end of the day, as we are very responsible for our work and we take into account the environment very seriously, a big innovation besides bringing this new product, the competitive tenders and the low prices as a result, we're very proud that we are introducing technologies with turbines that are smart. So when the wildlife, when bird life, when migrating species go through the parks, there are going to be sensitivity cameras identifying the birds and stopping the flaps, making the cycle. So it's so important that, we manage without compromising the quality of the generation, of the generated electricity, to protect the environment very effectively.
What are your forecasts? Do you think there is a positive outcome in the end of this event?
Look, this event is in itself is an event, a publicity event. It sends a strong message to the internal and also the external market players about the readiness of the country to accept foreign investment or local investment. And be for businesses that are interested in the competitive sectors of the economy, and these are so many, to come in and produce the goods they have, the services they imagine to improve the life of the people and also improve employment. So basically we are telling the world with this event that EBRD is here. We have a lot of investors. We have almost 3,000 participants that they hear about Uzbekistan. They see this building. They see people like you. They see what Uzbekistan is all about. And they are now, we understand, they are readier. They put Uzbekistan higher in the list of priorities. So we hope that with this meeting that we are organizing here in the beautiful city of Samarkand, we will be very successful in attracting more people and have better economic results for the country.
In October, Uzbekistan was in the spotlight of international tourism. Samarkand hosted 25th session of UN World Tourism Organization. the 24th session of the UNWTO General Assembly in Madrid on December 2, 2021, Samarkand was elected to host its next session in 2023. On May 21 this year, the sides signed an agreement on holding the 25th session of the General Assembly in Uzbekistan. In addition to that, they signed a memorandum on opening the International Tourism Academy of UNWTO in Samarkand. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev arrived in Samarkand and officially opened the 25th session of the UN World Tourism Organization General Assembly. Within the border of the General Assembly, Global Investment Forum was hosted in the Expo Center. The event gathered foreign investors from around the world and the representatives of various tourism structures. In addition to that, Uzbekistan presented its tourism potential at the cultural exhibition. As a result of this discussion during the panel sessions, the ministries of tourism from around the globe made a conclusion in regards to the most essential areas to invest into. In particular, they claimed that investors should mainly put a focus on education, connectivity, and sustainable tourism, meaning that the development of tourism shouldn't harm the environment. The General Assembly also served as a platform for the educational opportunities in the tourism sector. In addition to that, the awarding ceremony for the best villages around the world in 2023 was hosted. This high-scale event, which lasted for 5 days, certainly left a positive mark on the global tourism map. It was a great start for the tremendous opportunities, developments, and innovations in the tourism sector of Uzbekistan. In the beginning of November, Tashkent hosted the 16th Summit of Economic Cooperation Organization for the first time in the history since the establishment of the organization. This year, the trade turnover with the ECO countries accounted for $9.2 billion, and the share of member countries in the total trade turnover of Uzbekistan reached 20.5%. The volume of exports reached $40.2 billion and import $5 billion. Uzbekistan encourages the ECO states to boost the regional trade cooperation. This was stated by the President Shavkat Mirziyoyev at this summit. The Uzopor World team was on the spot of the event. We have talked with the expert from the Central Asian Institute who has commented on the impact of the event on the regional cooperation.
It should be noted that this meeting in the framework of Economic Cooperation Organization is being conducted for the first time in Uzbekistan. Our country has become its member in 1992. But this kind of big fora at the level of the heads of states is being conducted for the first time.
In November, Samarkand hosted the 21st session of UNCCD Committee for the Review of the Implementation of Convention in Samarkand. The meeting discussed sustainable land management, women's land rights, sand, dust storms, and drought resilience. Different events were held within the framework of the UN Creek Summit in Samarkand. One of them included planting trees. Delegations and state representatives planted new seedlings in the Green Park Creek 21. Those new plants will serve as a reminder of the friendship and new beginnings between the nations. According to the latest UN data, over 20% of the total land area in Central Asia is degraded. This is equivalent to roughly 8 billion hectares in the area of almost 4 times the size of Kyrgyzstan. This affects an establishment 30% of the region's combined population. While Uzbekistan reported the highest proportion of degraded land in the Central Asian region, it also saw the largest decrease from 30% to 26% compared to 2015. A total of 3 million hectares of land in Uzbekistan have been degraded due to the drying of the Aral Sea. Between 2018 and 2022, Uzbekistan carried out structural planting on the area of 1.6 million hectares, eliminated south of the dust emissions from the drained bottom of the Aral Sea.
The first ever UNCCD data dashboard offers an eye-opening insight into rapid loss of healthy and productive land around the world, with dire consequences of billions of people. At the same time, we are seeing some bright spots, countries effectively tracking desertification, land degradation, and drought. As we gather in Uzbekistan this week to review global progress toward ending land loss, the message is clear: land degradation demands immediate attention, UNCCD Executive Secretary said.
Around the world, approximately $5 billion in bilateral and multilateral funding flowed into the global efforts to combat diversification, land degradation, and drought between 2016 and 2019. This helped 124 nations roll out a wide range of projects aimed at addressing these challenges. All Central Asian nations have joined the LDN target-setting program under UNCCD, bringing the total number of participating countries to 13. At the invitation of President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, Emir of State of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, has arrived in Tashkent on a working visit. The two leaders opened the monument representing the efforts of the international community to counter corruption. The 12-meter-long and transparent metal composition in the form of an upward-posing hand with an open finger means that honesty and purity of deeds and thoughts, absolute rejection of corruption, and an appeal to countries around the world to unite in the fight against it. The whole world is fighting this crime, and those who continue to contribute fight for 7 years have been honored with a high award. This time the ceremony was hosted by Uzbekistan. President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev together with the Emir Qatar presented the laureates with the High International Award for Fighting Corruption. They were awarded in 5 nominations. So as we have analyzed all these events, we can make a conclusion that this year was pretty productive for Uzbekistan's policy-making system. So we have talked to the political scientist Farhod Talipov, who has reflected on this year's summit and made his own conclusion.
Indeed, Uzbekistan this year was at the focus, I would say, or at epicenter of numerous international events, summits, forums, festivals, and many others. Be them international organizations, events, or summits of states, summits of presidents, many. C5+1, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, summit in Samarkand last year, for instance, visit of President of France this year, Emmanuel Macron, to Tashkent. Economic Cooperation Organization Summit took place in Uzbekistan. Well, and many others also. And also Uzbekistan President visited numerous countries and participated in many other international forums abroad, which also indicates that Central Asia, and in particular Uzbekistan, of course, attract more attention of international community. Probably, given these turbulences which we are observing today in the world, instability in the international system, Central Asia, by the fact of its very unique location in the neighborhood of great powers like China, Russia, India, Iran, Turkey, of course cannot be ignored by international community. There are many unstable countries in the world and regions of the world. Central Asia is relatively peaceful. Central Asia demonstrates to the world how 5 states of the region, which constitute Central Asia, manage their relationships peacefully, friendly, based on their fraternal history, fraternity. Of course, this experience cannot be neglected by international community. How some certain countries of the world being located in a very fragile region in the neighborhood with these great powers, which themselves are facing significant challenges such as China or Russia, keeps peaceful, normal relations within the region. I'm sure this experience can be useful for the international community. And in this region, of course, Uzbekistan is regarded, I think, as a key country of Central Asia, and that's why many events happen in Uzbekistan, in the territory of Uzbekistan. So probably this is a sign of recognition by international community of the growing role of Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan becomes visible, let's say, visible, active actor of the international system.
So here our analysis comes to an end. On behalf of Uzreport World team, I would like to congratulate you on the New Year holidays and may all your wishes and goals come true in the upcoming 2024. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching this program, and see you in the next episodes.